1.37, 1700 delta V, stage 5. Why optimize? Just add another remote control device and just burn retrogrades without fuel. Yeah, that's one option. You can absolutely do that. Just be like, meh, I don't care. Or you can like try and fine tune your rocket so that it's a nice solution, which is what I prefer. I don't like the idea of getting into orbit with half a tank of fuel on my launch stage. That's insane. I'm beginning to wonder if we need 4 SRBs now. Hello, how you doing? It's so beautifully smooth, though. I can't get over how smooth it is. Honestly, it takes off like a glove. Look at Bob's face. Maybe what we should do is replace the SRBs with smaller ones now. Actually, what you want is the same thrust, but about half the height. But the other thing you could do is just take some fuel out of the SRB, or out the main tank. So we're hitting 23k and then dropping SRBs. It's getting a bit hot. I don't understand why it rotates to the normal like that. Yeah, I could just do that treble. To be fair, you're probably right. It's weird, like, it comes up and then it goes back again. Makes no sense. We'll bring that down to like half SRB fuel. And then we'll tell it to go higher. Because we don't need like huge amounts of SRB. Have you tried Hydroneer? No. Have you got time to try it though? Bob 7143. Thank you for 7 months, Bob. Right, we should spend more time on main fuel now. The question is, has it got enough thrust to weight ratio? I guess we'll find out. Can't toggle on the SAS when you're on autopilot. Drogdorf, thank you for 2 months. Is that at 100k, I think? 121k. We're going for 500. I don't think it's going to get 500 if it's tilting over quite this much. We'll see. Apo's currently 55k. Feels like it's turning too horizontal too quickly. Man, it's picking up some speed now. You've never managed planetary orbit, always end up in solar orbit. Well, I set the altitude to be 500k, so... Oh, hello. Apo's almost at 500k now. Blimey. That's not bad. It's almost out of fuel, which means by the time it's going to start... Oh no, it's... What's that carry on? 22k. I think I'd like to run out of fuel earlier, again. There goes the main stage. Yeah, if we tweak the fuel a little bit, it'll run out of main fuel before it gets to this point, and then it should be fine. Pretty certain that thing will deorbit itself. There you go. So we have 2000 Delta V left, and we have a 500 kilometer orbit around Kerbin. And I believe That other piece of rocket should have fallen back. Now 2000 Delta V. From here, we need about... We've got plenty, actually. We need 360 plus 250 is 600, 700. We need about 750 to get to Juna. And then some fuel left to circularize if you want to. We have loads of fuel. I think to optimize this, you probably want to use this fuel earlier, which means the main stage has got too much fuel in it. That's what we're saying. Right. Where's Juna? Set as target. We want the, what do they call it? The rendezvous planner. Must be the same sphere of influence. Interesting. It's the maneuver planner we want, I think. By impulse home and transfer to target. Which is that one. I did KSP videos many years ago. Taurus. If you go to my main channel, you'll be able to find them, but they're from years ago. Like, we're talking 2013, 2014, something like that. So that would look... The target motion must be in the same sphere of influences. What's the tool we use again? There's one that calculates docking, flight recorder, maneuver node editor, maneuver planner. I thought it was that one. I thought I did set the planet. See? Unset target. I did set it as a target. Target for buy-in plus transfer must be in the same sphere of influence. It's the top one. What, the advanced one? Jeez, man. I think we should go for pork chop selection. So this is all the don't do it here because it's very expensive. This is like, here's the cheapest way of doing it. 8,000 Delta V, 1,000 Delta V, 900 Delta V. Departure in 71 days, departure in 2 years. Like, you're literally going to wait for an orbit to come back. Oh my God. 945 Delta V. They are 61 days. Can we go with that? Okay, that didn't work. Must select a target. Dude, how many times do I have to do this? How do I say this is what I want you to go for? Select lowest Delta V. It doesn't seem to give you a confirmation visually. It doesn't like show, right, that's what you're going for. It's a bit odd. Okay. I see how it is. Literally, I have to wait for like
Evening
60 days.
Poland chat. Just back from a 100 years of Austin 7 cars event. Lots of nice old cars but not Steam. Anyways, SquirrelX hype.
Hey, Chris. 100 years of Austin 7 cars event. Blimey. I mean, we think waiting is boring. Like, imagine having to wait 60 days. 60 days of nothing to do. It's not like sitting on a beach, is it? It's just different kind of boredom. You don't like sitting on the beach, Chris. You'd rather sit in a steam train. Transit duration 328 days. Jeez. I did, Larry, yeah. So, if I understand this correctly, we're here, Juna's here, and we're going to go around and intercept it there. Like, literally on the other side of the sun. Like, boom. Burning up a good chunk of Delta V doing this. I reckon we can use this stage to get us down towards the planet and just jettison it on the way down. And then we don't have to burn any of our final stage fuel. Actually, none of the Kerbals have died. Right, let's walk there. Having a bit of extra fuel is never a bad idea. What do you think we should do? Just go straight for a landing, or do we go for like a high orbit and get some signs from a high orbit? and then signs from a low orbit. Because I'm trying to remember what you can do. Can you do on Juno? Juno has a high and a low orbit and a border, whatever that is. According to the wiki, Juno, you get 5x for low atmosphere and high atmosphere. In space, you can get it from a low and a high as well. We're not in its sphere of influence yet, are we? Jaguar, thank you for 28 months. Mustair, thank you for 4 months. Trying to think which thing we want now. Is just a maneuver planner again. It's not bad, is it? Change inclination, change. We just want like an intercept now. No, we're not on its SOI yet. Definitely not. Transfer to another planet. That can't work, can it? Really? 881 Delta V. Intercept target at chosen time. I'm trying to remember how I used to do this. You want to use fine-tune closest approach. Approximate final periapsis. Let's say 500k. $800 Delta V. That's almost all of our Delta V. Yikes. That's a lot more than I thought. I don't think we're going to get back from this. Remember to get solar orbit science en route if you haven't already. I think we've already done that. We've been out to Eve. I'm pretty certain we've done stuff like that. The science tool would have popped up if there was something available, I think. $803 Delta V to do this. Yeah, I think the Apple, you have to define yourself. I don't know how we're going to get home. We'll solve that later. That seemed to change slightly then, didn't it? It suddenly looked like we're not intercepting it. Well, it's recalculated that we are. I think, Larry, what it was doing was because it was time warped, it couldn't work it out quickly enough that we're going to intercept it. If we was to do 500k again now, we'd get 1 meter of delta V. So according to this, we're going to intercept at 500k periapsis. And then we'll have to bring our apo down or something. Well, I think when you accelerate time, its mathematics are like approximated, which is fair enough. Like that. Well, the plan is to get us into Juno so we can do some science at range and then try and get into a low orbit and then try and land. But a lot of it depends on delta V. We're almost out of fuel. We're trying to get science, basically. So I want to get science from a high orbit, science from a low, and then land and get science. You can see the delta V here. It says that 88 meters per second delta V. Right. That's not 500, is it? Or 200, which is what I asked for. That's 752k. Fine-tune closest approach to target has been done. New Apple cannot be lower than 752. Right, okay, so change Perry then. Change Perry to 500. Orbit is hyperbolic, so Apo doesn't exist. Don't know. What's the best way of doing this? 752 is not terrible, but it's not great either. If I tell it to circularize, it won't do that either. Move, create. 1023 delta V. What? Nah. Nah, mate. 1023 delta V just to circularize in an orbit. You gotta be kidding. Hey, battery. That's insane. Like, it said 360 delta V to circularize on the chart. You're going too fast. Well, we've tried to come in at the most optimum place. Why are we suddenly going stupidly quick? Is there anything that we could have done differently on the approach? Because that's just rubbish. Your Kerbal exit burn. But on my Kerbal exit burn, I chose the lowest delta V. You spent way too much fuel to fine-tune the intercept. I mean, I thought I'd chosen Mekjev. I want you to, the lowest delta V to transfer me there. We got there. I said, I want you to bring within 500 Ks. Don't care how you do it. Why would it bring me in at such a stupid speed? Like, what could I have done differently with Mekjeb? A 1000 delta V just to slow down and circularize. It's bonkers. It should only cost 360, according to the chart. How can it cost so much? The Kerbal Mekjeb didn't plan the intercept properly. You want less fuel here and more fuel here. That's what we need. We can basically move some fuel up there. That would help. Because these are quite full. Hang on, how many litres are in there? 3,200. Really, game? which is equivalent to that. So we just empty that. So we've basically moved 3,200 litres from this stage to this stage, which means we need a bit more in the SRB again. Don't know how much more. Orbital mechanics are hard. Yeah. I don't quite understand what it did on the calculation coming out of Kerbin then. If we can get the approach to Juno right, we should be able to get a landing. Or you reckon? Can you not actually launch at optimum time? Yeah, you can. But all we did was sat waiting in Kerbin for the optimum time. You should have went to the SOI intercept at Kerbin. You shouldn't have had to make any adjustments when you were up to the sun. Something clearly went wrong. Wow, it's just throttle back to 0. That's interesting. All 4 pieces survived. Put RCS on. I've asked it for a 200k orbit this time. I think we're still going to have too much fuel. Actually, no, it might work out quite well. We're almost out of fuel. Hopefully run out before we circularize. Biomech, how you doing? Nice. This is almost bang on for fuel now. Ideally, you'd want it to run out just before it got to this, but it's going to work pretty well. Yeah, I think you're right, Larry. I think the last time we ditched it like now, didn't we? Huh? Okay, that's dangerously close. There we go. Whew. It's on a slightly different trajectory. Yeah, that's going crashing back down. Yeah, I'm alright, boy, Mick. Looking forward to my expensive steak and chips and carrots later. Watching my daughter eat an expensive lobster and probably say, oh, this is the best lobster I've ever had. No, that's all in your head. Okay. Cool. So we're in an orbit with almost full fuel. That is about as optimum as it gets. Align planes with target planet before transfer. Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll quick save this. And then we'll click on Juno. Set as target. I mean, I don't know if we're... Like, Juno's not really got an eccentric orbit, is it? If you look at it, it's pretty much bang on. Don't think it matters. Yeah, we'll find out. Right, maneuver planet. We want to go... If I said change inclination, that would cost us 0.6 meters per second. I don't think it's worth doing that, Costel, to be honest. What we do want to do is a transfer to another planet. And we say... So anywhere in this dark blue bit, right, says 1,000 delta V. I thought we had it on 600. Oh, we got more fuel now. The ascent and descent... You mean the ascent and descent now should be 0.0? It's literally a tiny amount. Like, it's so small, I don't think it's meaningful. Like, it's so small, it's chasing the target. It's costing us more delta V chasing that node than it is not being aligned. Yeah, forget that. Complete and utter waste, as I said. What I don't understand about this tool is how to select this exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The eccentricity is there, isn't it? 0.00017. Departure time 66 days. Periaps is 60k. What if we say we want a 200k periaps? Select the lowest delta V. If I select something here. Departure in 2 years. Select the lowest delta V. Departure in 71 days. Aiming for a periapse of 200k. Include capture burn. What does that do? Uh-oh. What did that just do? If you include the capture burn, it says 1700 delta V. And then the transfer window is completely changed. If you don't, then you end up with 1000 delta V. Use the normal one instead of the advanced. Why? Well, this one, transfer to another planet at the next transfer window. Pretty much the same delta V. 1000. Martin Light, thank you for 32 months. But with this one, you can't select a periapse. It's just going to transfer you. By impulsive Hohmann transfer. Intercept only, no capture burn, impact, flyby. I don't understand that. So that one only works when it's in the same... So that's like trying to get up to a space station or something. That's what that one is. This one is like an advanced version of the simple one, but they both come up with roughly the same delta V, don't they? 1041. The other one came up with... Recommended starting independent transfers from a non-circular orbit. Transfers an orbit eccentricity. Well, yeah, but the eccentricity is tiny. But it comes up with 1026, so it's fine. Put that on 500k. Quickest is now, but takes... Yeah, 1300 delta V if you go now. If you wait, 1000 delta V. But this is what I did last time, and it's still, when we got there, we still had to spend a load of delta V just capturing it. If you include the capture burn, it can't be right. Why is that still 1000 including capture burn? Initial orbit must not be hyperbolic. You burnt 800 meters last time. Well, what's delta V, including capture burn? Go. Let's see what it does. I can't see how else we can make it more efficient. It's 500k out of its orbital space, so it's not capturing properly. I don't think it's that handy. Now it's shown 1400 delta V. What is it doing? I don't know, Biomech. I was thinking about what to do, and then I saw Ferret playing Kerbal. I was like, oh, I need to play Kerbal again. And then that's where I had to update all my mods, and then it went from there. And then jumped in, had to remember how to play the game again. It's weird. You build up a load of knowledge about a game, and then you don't play it for ages. In this case, a year. You go back to it, you're like, whoa. How do I use this again? Why is it not? Burn in 71 days. Dude, just accelerate. Let's go. Yesterday, I got my Microsoft Flight Sim patched up, put my flight controllers back on, went through all the controller setup again, got that all working, tweaked my settings. Then I installed the PMDG 737, which I bought. Installed some liveries on that. Went into that, tweaked around with that. Found some issues with the Bravo, the Honeycomb Bravo, on the PMDG. For example, and this one was annoying me, you know the trim wheel on the Bravo? If it's an autopilot and you so much as touch that wheel, disengages autopilot, which is really easily done. It's very easy just to knock that wheel. So I was like, okay, I'll turn that off. And then the landing gear was another problem. So on the Bravo throttle, you've got a landing gear up and down. So you press landing gear down, and the main gear comes down, but the nose gear doesn't for some reason. And then you press landing gear up, and then the nose wheel gear comes down. And then the plane's all screwed up. Because then when you press it down again, it's already down. It's completely broken. So I had to, after flying around for like an hour, working out what was going wrong, I disabled the landing gear thing and the trim wheel on the Bravo, and it behaves a lot better now. So I just use the landing gear button on my Stream Deck. I just use a button for it. That works fine. Trim wheel, I have a button on the yoke anyway, so that works fine. So I worked my way through those things. What else have I got? So yeah, I was getting my cache sorted out on my Microsoft Flight Sim. So yeah, I'm at the point now where I can actually like jump into it. And then I got to the end of Friday and was like, okay, I'm not ready to stream it yet, but you know, I'm not far off. And then I installed the Just Flight's PA-28, which I've not tried yet. Because I was going to fly the PA-28 from North Wheel, if you remember. So I thought, oh, I'll use their PA-28 from Just Flight. But now I'm not going to be flying a PA-28. I'm going to be flying a TB200. And I can't find a TB200 for Microsoft Flight Sim anywhere. I think I found a TB21 on Sim Market, but the reviews were very not great. They said, oh, the textures are good, but there's a lot of stuff isn't great. So I was like, cool. So I can't find a decent TB200, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping to, like, get in a very similar plane to the one I'm going to be flying to get a leg up before I go out with the instructor. So that's looking difficult. But yeah, that's a good thing, and hence. But the good thing is, it is working quite well, Flight Sim, and it's quite good frame rates. So they've definitely been working on that. Would I consider going back to X-Plane? Well, OJ, the only reason I go back to X-Plane is if they've got a TB200, then at least I can go and fly an X-Plane on a TB200. Like, I'm not against X-Plane. X-Plane's good. It's just, you know, Microsoft Flight Sim is... It's hard once you've been in Microsoft Flight Sim. X-Plane just feels that, you know, just the visuals alone just feel like But X-Plane obviously has a very large amount of aircraft available. And the other thing about Microsoft Flight Sim, you don't have to faff around with scenery, so there is that. But if they've got a TB200 on X-Plane, then I may have to just go and grab that. You try and tell Baz that. There's no point telling Baz anything. This is a man who plays a flight simulator from 1984, or pretty much thereabouts. Have you flown or been a passenger in your new plane yet? No, not yet. My plan is get in the flight sim first. I've got to read the manual first. I've got to go up to the airfield, check all my stuff works to get into the hangar. Then I've got to go and see an instructor. I want to have a chat with him about it before I book him in. And then go from there. But yeah, I kind of want to be... What are we on now? Are we on May already? I kind of want to be up and running the next couple of weeks, really. Is P3D not the aircraft you're trying to find? I don't know, Andy lad. Possibly, but I don't have P3D. I've not installed P3D for years, and I can't be bothered with it. I think I've still got X-Plane installed, but it's probably needs a big patch.